Hey everyone, this is Jared Hillis from Edgar Sherman Design, and we're going to talk about and do a deep dive on my bag gun that I carry around with me every day. So the concept came from back when I first started in the firearms industry. You know, everybody touted carry a big gun, because if you carry a big gun, when you pull it out of the holster, it's still a big gun. So it's going to be high capacity and easier to shoot. On paper, that sounds great. In execution, I found myself and other people out there as human beings, we tend to lean towards the side of the path of least resistance. So when you're carrying around a big gun every single day, when it gets hot outside, when it gets uncomfortable, you end up getting into the car, you take it out of the holster, or take the holster off of your body, you put it in the seat next to you, it migrates from the seat to the glove box, migrates from the glove box inside the house, and then you stop carrying that big ass gun around. So, you know, I carry a Glock 19 or a SIG 365 for my handgun. 365 is for, you know, a little bit warmer weather if I'm wearing clothing that I need to have a little bit more of a low vis rig on. And the Glock 19 is a little bit colder weather. I can have some more cover garments on and easily conceal that. Now with rifles, kind of that concept bled over for me into my carry rifle setup. There's an argument to be made that, you know, a 16-inch 308 gas gun is more effective than a short little bag gun. And it is in certain applications, but are you going to bring that rifle with you every time that you leave the house, pack it in the car, and drive around with it? Probably not. You know, it's a big heavy rig, and even the ammunition's on the heavier side. SIG ended up introducing the MCX while I was over there, and that was kind of a melting and best of both worlds. So my original bag gun was this Sig Sauer MCX. It's a 6 3/4 inch barrel, so, and it's chambered in 300 blackout. Now 300 blackout is extreme. The whole reason why they made it was to be effective out of short little guns. 5.56 tends to lose some of its legs as you get south of 11.5 inches. And there's even people that'll argue that 11.5 inches is too short for 5.56. But 300 blackout, it gets full powder burn out of a 9-inch barrel. This is a 6 3/4 inch barrel. And the whole idea behind this gun was I wanted to be able to fit it in the footwell of the passenger compartment of my vehicle. You know, I can easily access it from the driver's seat of the vehicle, and it's a gun that I will carry around every day with me because it's short, it's reasonably lightweight, it's accurate for its size, and 300 blackout out of short barrels is extremely effective. So it started out its life as a 6 3/4 inch MCX. When the 6 3/4 inch barrels first got introduced, they would only run if the weapon was suppressed. I had one of the guys in the special weapons group tweak the gas valve, so I can run this gun unsuppressed, supers, and subs. Now for my bag gun, I generally will carry just supersonics in it. Supersonics are better in almost every measurable way with terminal performance than the subsonic rounds that were available at the time. So, you know, Barnes 110, Sig Sauer has a 120 grain specific SBR load that they have now. So 300 blackout is great for supersonic, especially in a small little package. This gun, again, was going to be run unsuppressed. And a lot of people will ask why even carry 300 blackout if you're not going to use a silencer on it. Again, I was trying to fit this gun into the footwell of my passenger compartment. So at the time, we had the 6 3/4 inch barrel, and then we had a full-size silencer. I think it was 16 baffles that was on it, and I couldn't fit it into this bag, and with the silencer attached, I could not fit it in the footwell of the compartment. So hence why it looks how it is right now. So 6 3/4 inch barrel. I used to have a flash hider attached to this, and it was pretty loud shooting supersonics with just a flash hider on it. So I upgraded to the Noveske Flaming Pig. That gets a lot of that initial concussion away from you. So it gets the sound out in front of you and makes it a little bit more pleasant to shoot. I've got a small mod light attached to the front of it. I think that any defensive rifle should have a source of white light on the gun. And then moving back, I've got the Romeo 4T on there on a Scalar Works mount. I think this is like their mid-height mount. Super high risers weren't the cool thing at the time. So I've got the kind of mid-ride on there. For the butt stock, I've got a Parker Mountain Machine Kate Moss stock. So the length of pull is great on this. It has a little bit more of a bump up for a cheek weld on it. And you can see they hogged out a lot of the meat on there, so it's a lighter weight buttstock setup. Edgar Sherman design sling, because it's a very lightweight, adaptable, minimalist sling on the gun. And when I'm stowing it away inside the bag, I can really tighten this thing up so there's not a lot of slop and not a lot of snag hazard when I'm pulling it out of the bag. And then a Hyperfire Hyper Touch trigger on there. MCXs, when they first came out, there wasn't a lot of available options for triggers to go in, because these guns run so hard that they were breaking hammers on a lot of the aftermarket triggers. The Hyperfire has held up since I got this gun, I don't know how many years ago now, probably 7 or 8 years ago. So the Hyper Touch trigger has held up to all the abuse that I've put it through, and then a short Reptilia grip on the back of it. So went with a short grip because remember, this thing has to fit into a small bag. So as a larger grip would be more comfortable to shoot with on this gun, I had a requirement to fit it into a small space. So I went with a short grip on there. And it's not all that miserable to run around on the range with that short grip on. That's the breakdown of my original small bag gun, low vis gun, whatever you want to call it. You know, a rifle that I'll carry with me every day. So as I progressed and this kind of idea progressed, you know, the firearms industry is ever changing. Everybody's coming out with new products on an almost weekly basis. So, you know, this kind of progressed into something that I carry around now. This is the original bag that I got given to me that I wanted to carry this rifle around in. Obviously, it's a pretty low vis bag. I've never been asked a question about what is in this bag. It just looks like a normal everyday carry bag. You know, it fits in that footwell compartment in my vehicle. So it checked that box, and I was able to carry quite a bit of gear inside this little bag. So let's open it up. So this is where that concept evolved into. So again, it's still an MCX. It's chambered in 300 blackout. That's the Sig Sauer 120 grain SBR specific defensive load that's in it. And then Sig ended up coming out with the Rattler. So you notice there's no forward assist on this to eliminate snag hazards when you're pulling it out of a bag. It had has a 5-inch barrel on it. So the original was 6 3/4 inch. This is a 5-inch barrel, and what that allowed me to do was sneak a silencer in as well in order to fit it into the bag. So now I get the benefits of having a suppressed weapon system, but still be able to carry it around with me every day. You know, we all know the benefits of having a silencer on the gun, but to just, you know, point them out real quick. Your sound reduction is lowered. Communication between you and somebody else that you might be with is better because you don't have an ear-crushing sound going off next to you. It also reduces your signature to other people that might be, you know, the unfriendly party in this situation. So no muzzle flash, so on and so forth. So I've got the silencer on there. When the Rattler came out, it had a short, tiny little handguard on there, and I really couldn't fit any accessories on there that I wanted on it. So Midwest Industries came out with a suppressor length rail. So it's wide enough that the silencer will fit inside of there. But it gives me some real estate to put accessories on the gun. I've got an EFG attached to the front. That's my foregrip of choice. So you'll see on the original gun that I've got kind of that HK MP5 style vertical grip on it. That's what was available at the time, and that fit inside the bag. Now we've got obviously better technology. It still allows me to have a handhold on the gun, and it's extremely comfortable and ergonomic, but lowers my snag hazard while I'm pulling it out of that bag. On the front of the gun, I still have a source of white light on there with that mod light that's attached to the front of it. And then I put a laser on the front of it. This is a Steiner CQBL. It's a visible laser and IR laser. I got that because as I progressed, I ended up getting myself night vision, and I wanted the ability on this rifle to use my night vision and still have a laser aiming device on it. To activate both the light and the laser, I've got the Unity hot buttons attached to the top of it. This just makes it more ergonomic when I'm running the gun. I don't have to reach up and around in order to hit a tail cap. It just makes it really easy to activate those. Moving back on the gun, I've got a Unity fast mount with an Aimpoint T2 on the top of it. My original gun, I had the SIG Romeo 4T on there. Again, when I got night vision, the 4T at the time, I think they fixed it now, but at the time, you couldn't turn it down enough to use night vision behind it. It would bloom out your night vision. It was still too bright, but the T2, we all know it's one of the most rugged, if not the most rugged red dot out on the market. Has a nice crisp dot on there, and I can dial that back for night vision settings. I've got a 100 Concepts kill flash snapped on the front of that. Again, signature reduction is the name of the game on that. And then working our way back to the buttstock, Park Mount Machine came out with a minimalist stock. So the original Rattler stock was about the same length, but they came out with a little bit nicer setup. It's a little bit lighter weight. It has slightly more length of pull. The original Rattler stock was real choked up on there. So this is much more comfortable while I'm shooting the gun. Park Mount Machine still sells the minimalist stock today. They also came out with a magwell that's MCX specific. Opens up that magwell a little bit and allows me to have more consistency while doing reloads. Again, we have an Edgar Sherman design sling on there. Nice minimalist design, super lightweight. I've got the paracord guides on it as well. That's a product that we came out with in order to attach the sling to your rifle and have it be not only lightweight, but silent and really rugged. And last but not least, we've got the Pebble grip from Edgar Sherman design on the for the grip of the gun. So I still had the same requirement that I needed a short grip. Unfortunately, the granite grip was a little bit too long for me, so I couldn't fit it in the bag. And I was running a Reptilia on this for a while, but we always had the idea that we were going to make a short grip for small bag guns. And so one of my requirements was that it had to fit into my bag. And you know, it's similar design to the original granite grip. We're going to do a deep dive on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to that. But just to run through it real quick, it's got 360 grip texturing on it. It's still that nice tapered design like the original granite grip, so it tends to fill your hand in a more ergonomic way. You don't feel like you're holding on to a tube. It has the thumb rests on either side, and then because of the 3D printing, that grip texturing kind of melts away into the grip rather than having a hard line. So it's just a much more comfortable grip to shoot with on a day-to-day basis and train with. Well, thanks for joining us on the walkthrough of kind of the evolution of my bag gun, where it started, 6 3/4 inch loud 300 blackout, all the way up to a nice compact suppressed weapon system. So as always, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube if you enjoy this kind of content. We also have a newsletter that you should sign up for so you can know when new product drops are coming out, like the Pebble grip. And yeah, thanks for watching.